Thank you for indulging me in my passion, which for the past 30 years has been aromatherapy and the use of essential oils. I could stand up here and talk to you probably for hours about how brilliant they are for day-to-day ailments, headaches, muscular aches and pains and all of that. And there's some really great evidence coming through now to support that. And in actual fact, aromatherapy is the #1 complementary treatment for cancer care still these days in clinics and hospitals, which is fantastic. But I thought what might be more relevant is how these powerful little plant extracts helped me and continue to help me with more of an emotional issue and mental health as well. So I know I'm speaking to the converted mostly, and I can't believe I'm standing up here talking about aromatherapy in front of people like Sue Harmsworth. I don't know how I managed to do this, and in front of chemists. But there's 2 ways in which aromatherapy or essential oils work. The first way is like any other odour or scent or smell, and that is through your limbic system in your nose, and your brain will send you a signal as to whether you've smelt that smell ever before, and whether it was a good, bad or indifferent experience for you. So over time you build up your own personality of fragrance experience, and it's unique to you. And it's interesting, the sense of smell is the only smell, I believe, that's fully formed in the womb. So you're born with a completely working, sophisticated piece of kit that actually becomes your dominant sense for the first 4 years of your life, in order of keeping you safe and keeping you fed. Because not only can you smell the nation's favourite smell, which apparently, according to a 2018 survey, is baked bread. Kind of comforting, I guess, kind of nourishing. You can also smell emotions. So you can smell tears, you can smell the reason behind the tears, whether that's grief or joy. You can smell pheromones, of course, useful in helping us navigate a great partner who has a complementary immune system to us as well. And recently it's been found that these scent receptors, which are primarily, of course, in your nose, are actually found throughout your body as well. They're found in your bloodstream, they're found in your lungs, they're found in your kidney. So you smell with your whole person, which is extraordinary. And then there's another way that the essential oils work, which is through the bloodstream. So the molecules are small enough to penetrate either through your skin or through breathing them in. And then they circulate in your blood and help affect different systems of your body. So famous ones, eucalyptus with respiration, peppermint for digestion. All the essential oils help affect your central nervous system. Most of them are sedative, calmative, relaxing, getting you into that rest and digest area. But some of them are really stimulating and refreshing and uplifting and motivating. Apparently you can smell up to 1 trillion different scents in a human. Up until about 8 years ago, it was estimated maybe 10,000 scents. And we were sort of looking at dogs thinking, God, they're amazing, and we're, not so good. But apparently 1 trillion scents we can discern, which is pretty impressive. And there's some great stuff going on in terms of inhaling medicines these days. There's a guy in Harrogate who's developed insulin that you can breathe in rather than having to inject it every day. So still loads of stuff going on and interesting things coming around. I'm sure you all know that 75% of your taste experience is to do with your nose. That's why in COVID we all lost, smell and taste. Flavour is discerned by your mouth, taste is discerned by your mouth, but flavour is all through your sense of smell. So it's pretty powerful stuff. Is kind of what I'm saying. So I've decided to introduce you to 5 essential oils that I decided to work with when I got rather a shocking diagnosis. I know most of you know this, but almost to the day, 2 years ago, I was in a little NHS cupboard, I'd say it was almost. And I was given a diagnosis of advanced metastatic cervical cancer, which had travelled through my lymphatic system and settled in both my lungs. And I was told by these very clever oncologists that this was incurable, terminal, and I'd be on palliative chemotherapy for the rest of my life. That was a shock. It was really outrageous. And I still have chemotherapy every 21 days. And I promise I'm going to bring this upbeat a little bit more in a minute. And I know we all have our stuff, okay? But for me, after the shock, which did take probably about 6 months to understand and get my head around, I decided to take my own advice, because what was happening was my horizons, which were far off, and they had things floating on it, of course, I'm going to say the word, like death, suddenly were right in front of my face. And I had to deal with it right here, right now. Not only did I have to deal with my own emotions around that, but everybody else's. My God, that's exhausting. The struggle was real, managing how everyone else was looking at that. And I started to experience some really huge emotions, massive ones. After the shock, I'd say probably... well, there was sort of a bit of terror and horror in there, of course, but fear. And I know we've touched on fear before. So fear was dramatic. And then there was grief and loss and sadness. And, you know, just because I like to torment myself, there was a bit of shame in there. There was a bit of guilt. Why not? Bring it on. You know, what have I done? What have I done differently? And whilst none of these emotions are bad, they're all there to protect you and help you. The problem was they were omnipresent. They were constantly around me. So I wasn't engaged with everybody. I wasn't present because there was this, yeah, well, don't worry about that because you've got bigger things to worry about. This is happening, that's happening, wow. So eventually I decided to take my own advice. I think, do you know what, I'm going to work with some of these oils that I've adored for 30 years. And that's what I sat down and I did. So I'm going to try and see if I can put them into your life. There's loads of stuff about how you can massage them and dilute them and don't ingest them and don't put them on your skin. The easiest thing to do is just smell them, okay? And the way to smell them, just quickly, I've passed around some scent sticks, is to, firstly, don't assault your limbic system. Don't smell too closely, because these are, it has been said, up to 1,000 times stronger than their dried herb counterpart, so they're really intense. Wave them underneath your nose. This is doing two things. Firstly, it's giving what's called head space, which is oxygen and air around all of the molecules, so you get the full experience. And secondly, you smell the same thing through both your nostrils, but at different times of the day. You've got one fast channel nostril and one slow, and just to confuse it, they switch throughout the day. So, so give it a waft.